Well, joining us live now is LNP member for Fisher, Andrew Wallace. Andrew, appreciate your time. You must be disappointed in the outcome today. I know in the lead up to the vote you'd been warning your colleagues that Susan Lee hadn't been given a fair go.
Look, Ashley, no doubt I am disappointed by the outcome. I have supported Susan Lee, but at the end of the day, the party room has spoken very strongly in support of Angus Taylor, and that's given him a mandate, a licence. It's a good thing that it wasn't a close vote at the end of the day, because it has spoken very strongly, and at the end of the day, I look forward to working with my colleagues to hold this government to account.
Well, speaking of holding the government to account, just to let our viewers know, we are standing by to take them live to a news conference with the Minister, Murray Watt. So that's coming up shortly to bring us some government Labor reaction to the big news today. Look, Andrew, you were Shadow Attorney General. Are you expecting to keep a position, do you think, in the new look Frontbench, or are you expecting we'll see a lot of generational change underway?
What are you trying to tell me, Ashley? I'm still a young fella. I'm almost 58. Look, that's a matter entirely for Angus as the leader, the new leader of the party. He's entitled to make whatever changes he sees appropriate. I'm very happy to serve in my current portfolio or in any other way he considers appropriate.
Definitely no offence meant there, Andrew, but as we know, there are plenty of newcomers nipping at the heels of some of those who have been in the parliament a long time. Look, I'm keen for your thoughts on immigration policy. We heard from the One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, a little earlier, and she was essentially saying she doesn't expect Angus Taylor to go very far in terms of being strong enough on immigration. Where do you think the Liberal Party needs to land on that front?
Well, actually, we are a country of immigrants. Many of us have either come from another country or we have parents that have done so. Immigrants have really added to the rich tapestry of the Australian way of life. It's very important, however, that we get the balance right, because at the moment we saw in the last term of government, Anthony Albanese brought in around 1.2 million people into this country, which added very significant pressures to our housing and, just simple things about getting from point A to point B on our roads. You just simply can't bring in that number of people that quickly. And unfortunately, they really didn't. The Labor Party didn't appropriately look at what our skills needs were. They were bringing in people who we really didn't need them from a skills perspective. So we need to be very selective about who we bring into the country. Angus talked earlier about ensuring that we bring people in who are prepared to respect our way of life, respect our rule of law and our customs and laws. And I think that that's entirely appropriate. I think that many Australians would be saying, well done, that makes perfect sense.
And are you expecting we'll see some cost of living policies brought in pretty quickly, probably before the by-election in Farrer, I'd suggest, with, of course, that shaping up to be a tight race?
Well, as Angus talked about earlier in his press conference, we have seen the sharpest decline in living standards in this country, the sharpest of any OECD countries, and Australians know instinctively when they go to the checkout, when they go and put fuel in their car, when they get home from work and they open up their bills, that there is a lot more month at the end of the money these days than what there was when we were in government. So we need to
Andrew, can you just hold that thought for me? Sorry, I do want to come back to you, but Murray Watt has just started speaking. Andrew, stay with us though, because I'd be keen for your reaction to this. Let's just listen to the Minister, Murray Watt, speaking in Sydney. Andrew Wallace, I went too soon then. Goodness, it's all about timing, isn't it? A few technical issues there by the looks of it at the Minister's news conference. We'll get back to that. You were talking about cost of living and how that really obviously needs to be a priority in terms of any new policy approaches from Angus Taylor.
Well, the coalition has always been, but certainly under Angus, he's made it a commitment today that we want to restore Australians' standard of living. too many Australians, doesn't matter whether you're a cleaner or whether you're a brain surgeon and everybody in between, there's too much month at the end of the money. We're all doing it tough, and we're doing it tough because we're paying more for our utilities, we're paying more for our interest rates and rents. It doesn't matter what stage of life you're in, people are paying through the nose, and they're really feeling it, and they're very angry. They're very angry at this government, and they have been angry at us as an opposition, because we've spent too much time talking about ourselves and not enough time trying to help Australians resolve these issues. They want, I think almost every adult Australian would see the importance of having a strong, unified opposition, because a government is only as good as its opposition. And this government has a supermajority in the House of Representatives. They are full of hubris, they're full of arrogance, and they think they can get away with anything. Well, I'm going to be a part of a new team of this coalition that is working together to try and bring this government down, because that is the only way that we're going to be able to restore Australians' standard of living and protect their way of life.
Andrew Wallace, appreciate you joining us on a day I know is tough for Susan Lee supporters. Thanks for your time.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.